Okay, we're gonna start off with this size and resolution. Okay, now we're gonna find a decent finder. Maybe. Here we go. Just looking around, seeing what I like. I think we'll go with this one just because I like the mood. Always use a hard brush when you're erasing those watermarks, that way you don't get anything left behind. Okay, now we're gonna resize it to fit this stature. Pretty important to always hold shift when you're doing that. Otherwise you could get it out of the scale and it'll look weird. Now I've placed it here on the left third of the signature just because I think it fits a little bit better. Give it some room to establish some flow over there on the right. Should be pretty good. And now it's fine. Let's see if we can find a decent stock to put in the background here. Probably won't be able to see much of it when we're finished, but it's always a good touch to have. I think the red will go good in here with it. Probably won't fit too good right away. Probably just gonna flip it. Yeah, I should probably just flip it around. Pretty simple. Now that's obviously pretty distracting, so we'll go ahead and blur that. I think a 0.8 or 1.2 is pretty good to start with for a Gaussian blur. Gaussian, however that you say that. Now let's see if we can find a C4D that'll pull up. Crappy left mouse. Find some abstract C4D to fit this. Should be not too hard. We'll see. I don't like them too much. The lighting on it's weird for the flow that I like. I'm gonna try and go with the flow of that knife there. From the bottom left to the top right, I think is gonna be the best flow for this particular. Now, for C4D, it was this type of size of signatures. I prefer to scale it down to about an 800 width most of the time. I don't know, it's pretty safe then to do that rather than a 500 or something a little bit lower. Give you a little bit of fudge room and not too much scaling. Especially because a lot of times you can find ones that have 5500 pixels wide. Just gotta rotate that a little bit for the flow. Figure out where it will fit nicely. Yeah, I think that fits alright. Blends kind of. Blends a bit better. Now, I think I'm gonna try and accentuate a little bit of the blue on the render. With this one a bit. And I'm gonna use a lighter C4D just to put it up there by where I think the light source should be. Again, it's probably gonna need rotated and maybe flipped. Play with this bit. Yeah, it's still just a tad too big. Maybe it's not too bad. We're gonna use another similar C1400. I'm just gonna go ahead and place this one at that size and scale it. Jen got him to match that still. It's obviously a little bit too large to put there. Because we really want it to fit in with the rest of it. We don't want it to take up too much space. And we don't want it to be too little. I like that. But I do think I'll just erase this. Covers up too much of the work. I've had it blend sometimes, but it's also not very good. I'm just playing around with some stuff here. See if I can get something that looks cool. Maybe work on the lighting a bit and the blending. That's kind of cool, but I don't think it's gonna blend too well. I'm gonna go through some more stuff. Maybe we'll find something cool. I find that it's a good idea to go through these things and just look at what it looks like on all the different layer settings. No, I don't think that's gonna fit too well. Maybe just put it back behind there as a light source. There we go. Now we're gonna start our blurring. For this one, 0.4, 0.3. So 0.3 looks nice. I'll use that for those. There I'm just Control F, redoing the filters. This will, if you do the blurring at different levels, it'll really make the depths pop a little bit more than if you did everything at one Gaussian level. Because that'll still make your piece look pretty flat and boring. Now I think it's about time to add some effects. Do some layer work and such. I think play around some bokeh, some different C4D bubble type effects. Should be cool. I like the colors in this one. Like the hexagon shape's kinda cool too. A little bit different. Even at that size isn't a big deal. The screen and linear dodge tend to work pretty well for this stuff. But of course you can just go through and play with the different ones and see what you like. It's just what I tend to use most of the time. Yeah, you gotta make sure with your effects that what you're doing isn't too distracting. Now we're gonna do another Gaussian blur 1.2. We're gonna do this just to finish off our depths a little bit. We're not gonna leave everything out of that. We're just gonna erase out the focal here for sure. Some of the C4D in those cards and stuff could really make the depth pop even a little bit more. Pretty important. Also, sorry if you can't really hear me too well. My laptop mic kind of blow, but I figured it's better than not doing. I think doing these cards especially is gonna help make that pop with that really sudden depth. I think it'll look good. And the bokeh effects we're gonna blur, but I think sharp effects in the foreground also work very well. Probably be adding some more right around the adjustment layers phase of the signature making. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. It's got some nice depth going for it. Here I'm just trying to darken the right side a bit, make all of that just a little bit less distracting, or bring out the focal a bit and just make the entire sig pop. Found that the edge darkening tends to work in just about any type of sig, no matter what you're doing. Looks nice. Of course, we're gonna tone it down a bit in the end. I'm using a pretty large soft brush here, relatively low opacity. Tend to do 18 or 22 for most of my stuff, but again, just feel free to play with that a bit. Now we need a defined line source. I tend to go over the render a little bit and then do the outside a lot more intense. It'll give it a nice light source and have it affect the render a bit. Looks nice most of the time. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Starting to get a bit of a nice atmosphere going on. Give it a nice mood. I think we should add just a few more effects. Make our depth pop out a little bit more. I think doing some bokeh stuff will look cool. Maybe some more of this type of stuff. Now with this particular stock and the colors going on, I'm probably gonna try something a little bit different with the layer mode. I don't think it'll look as good on linear dodge or I don't think that'll look so good. The colors don't quite fit. I like that. It's pretty different. Definitely lower the opacity a bit. That's definitely pretty cool. Wish that it will use the face, because the rest of it's gonna blend in pretty well. But you really want to bring out the face and those things is the focal, for sure. Yeah, I think that helps blending a bit. Let's go out and find some decent C4D effects. I think most of mine are by Platina on DeviantArt. It's got some nice effects. Yeah, got some blues going on in here to help bring out some of the colors to the render a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Not bad. Definitely keep working on it. There are some distracting spots with that blue, so I'll just go ahead and erase them. See what that looks like below the lighting. Nah. It looks better above it. There's another one of those type of effects. There's quite a few more of them here. And let me go through all the different layer modes. Maybe someone jump out to me. I like that. Cool. Colors also looks alright too, but I think I like the lighting a little better. It's pretty sexy. I'm just gonna erase out some of those really distracting parts. I don't think any of it should be in the face. A lot of the really heavy parts don't need to be over any of the render. They're pretty distracting. Take away from the focus a lot. There we go. That's actually kind of messy, but I was not a fan of that. I miss a little bit of that blue. Let's see what else we should do. I'm gonna do a applied layer and sharpen. That's always a good thing to do with your depths. I don't think that looks very good on that. Go ahead and use that. I don't like that. It probably just needs to be on most of that background. Although with it being black, it probably doesn't matter. There we go. Starting to look pretty good. I think a lot of the colors could use some work. And we'll get there. Okay, gradient maps tend to help with that. And this one's one of my personal favorites, that light orange to light purple. Looks really good on the screen and maybe. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I don't like that too much, so let's try green. I think that looks a little bit better. I'll go with the blue red yellow, like on soft light. I think those two gradient maps work really well together. They tend to. Sorry about the opacities on those a bit. Tend to. And then a black and white gradient map. Do this one first. I think this one will help the atmosphere a bit. Just play around with the levels on that one. All the different layer modes. Depending that's gonna help a bit with that mood or atmosphere. And a black and white gradient map on soft light or luminosity. I prefer luminosity. I'll lower the probably lower the opacity a bit. Don't think that looks too sharp. Do a bit more on that light source. Looks alright, but it can be a bit better. Just like we more refined. Make it even better. Looks pretty nice. Definitely not too bad. Just a little bit too much native space on the right for my taste. Still want to kind of keep it out there on its third, but I didn't like all that negative space on the right. A little bit. I still don't want it to be centralized because that seems to be a trend. turn off unless you have a really radio. Okay. There's some curves working there on set. So we can mix that light. It's good for that atmosphere on this piece. Just because of the mood of that render. Pretty badass. Play around with text a bit. I'm not the greatest with text, but you have to make sure that it kind of fits the piece, you know? I'm gonna call this one Malice because it's an Alice in Wonderland thing that's kind of dark. It's kind of a joke. You can play around with placement a bit, see where it looks best. I think it's gonna look, I don't know, just a bit better over by that shoulder, the right shoulder there. I think that looks nice. You can play around with it a bit more, but I don't think it really fits anywhere else. Play around with size and fonts here for a bit. I don't know. It's different for every sake, but Trojan Pro, this one there, that font is pretty good for just about anything. I also like to use Futurist Fixed with, that one's pretty good. And Optimus Princess works pretty well. Okay, back to that. I just did an apply layer on that and did a clipping mask. I'm using the dodge tool to make it pop out a bit. I think a lot of the times this helps the text blend in with the rest of the piece a bit. You still want to make sure to keep it close to that. And the drop shadow with the dodged out applied layer looks good most of the time. I think it makes it pop out a bit. But not as much as a stroke, which looks pretty working in my opinion most of the time. It just doesn't fit. Looks pretty good. Let's see if I can find a piece of the signature that has some good color. There we go. Yeah, but dark on that one side of it's probably lose a little bit there. Just want to keep a bit of that color, but really make that a lot lighter and make it pop down. Starting to look good. That text just needs to be moved around a bit. See where it is. I don't think there's a lot of good places for it, probably just leave it there by that right shoulder. Looks pretty good. Text is definitely something that a lot of people struggle with. Just something to keep working at. And play around with that a little bit more. I think it looks good if you put the drop shadow basically right behind it. You don't want it at much of an angle. Dodge that out a little bit more just to make it pop. Looks pretty good. Alright, not looking too bad. Just sharpen it in. Play around with some topaz. Topaz filter is something that's pretty powerful. It's good in a lot of times, and it can ruin your signatures or avatars. It just, if you don't use too much of it, it makes your signature lose all of its depth. It'll look really flat and boring in my opinion. The line texture also looks bad most of the time, so something to be careful with, but definitely a good thing to have. And I've got this filter set from Adobe for free. I just have the monthly trial keys, and I tend to just go and remove them. I just play around with it a bit until I get something that just has some small differences. Just a little bit cleaner. More lighting and stuff. Just work on getting that out there. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. just save it from here.